Welcome to At the Heart of Caregiving, the podcast for anyone caring for aging loved ones. Whether you're a family caregiver, healthcare pro, or trusted referral partner, we're here to share tips, advice, and real stories to make caregiving less stressful and more rewarding. The voices you'll hear on this podcast are AI generated, but the content is genuine and made just for you. So let's jump in and celebrate the incredible role caregivers play in the lives of seniors. Now, our AI hosts will take it from here.
Welcome back to At the Heart of Caregiving.
Always glad to be back.
Today we're diving into pet therapy.
Yeah.
And how it can play a really big role in caregiving.
Really unique role.
We've got some great articles for this deep dive. And we even have a story from a caring senior service franchise owner, Lisa Coker.
Oh, great.
About how her dog Ivy brings smiles to seniors in rehab facilities.
I love these kinds of stories.
Me too.
It's amazing how much research is out there now about how beneficial pets can be for seniors.
Right, like this Guide to Seniors in Pet Care article.
Okay.
It really gets into how important companionship is for seniors.
Yeah.
Especially those dealing with loneliness or those who maybe can't get out as much.
Absolutely.
Having a pet can make a real difference.
For sure. I mean, it goes beyond just having a buddy around, though.
Oh, yeah.
This article highlights how pets can give seniors a renewed sense of purpose.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, you're responsible for another living being.
I see.
Keeping them fed, keeping them happy.
Right.
That can really change someone's outlook.
And there are physical and mental benefits, too.
Absolutely, yeah.
The article talks about stress reduction,
Mm-hmm.
getting seniors moving a bit more,
Keeps them active.
and even boosting their immune systems.
It's pretty amazing, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, we can't just recommend any pet for any senior.
Right.
We got to think about things like their mobility, energy levels,
Yeah.
and let's be honest, cost.
Cost is a big one.
Yeah.
This article has a whole section on choosing the right pet.
Okay.
And it mentions some that you might not have considered, like cats.
The cats.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're pretty low-key.
Yeah, they are.
Or smaller dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Or even something simple like fish.
Oh, yeah.
An aquarium can be really calming.
Absolutely.
And those options are much less demanding for someone who might have limited mobility.
Makes sense.
So how does Lisa's story tie into all of this?
Yeah, I'm curious about that.
Well, her dog, Ivy, is a certified therapy dog, but it wasn't always easy.
Really?
This pup had some serious issues early on,
Oh, no. Like what?
like dog aggression, fear, you name it.
Wow. That makes you really appreciate the commitment and patience it takes to help an animal overcome hurdles like that.
Absolutely. But Lisa was all in.
That's great.
She worked tirelessly with Ivy, and eventually all that hard work paid off.
Good for her.
And now Ivy's a well-behaved social butterfly.
Oh, wow.
She's perfect for therapy visits.
Yeah, it must have been incredible to witness that transformation.
So how did Ivy go from, like, problem pup to therapy dog?
Yeah, how did that happen?
Well, Lisa started taking Ivy to assisted living and rehab facilities,
Okay.
and the impact was immediate. You know how some people just light up around animals?
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean.
That's Ivy's superpower.
Oh.
She brings this incredible joy to the patients.
That's great.
And get this, they're even more motivated to do physical therapy when Ivy's around.
Oh, that makes sense.
Talk about a furry motivator.
If you're feeling down or unmotivated, that connection, just petting a dog, can really shift your mindset.
And it's not just the patients.
Oh, yeah.
The staff gets a boost too. Lisa said Ivy lifts everyone's spirits.
That's wonderful. So Ivy is providing a really valuable service, but there are also those highly trained service dogs out there.
Right.
Did Lisa make any distinctions between the two?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
He was very clear that service dogs are incredibly skilled and trained for very specific tasks.
Right.
Often to help people with disabilities.
Uh-huh.
Therapy dogs, like Ivy, are more about emotional support and companionship.
Yep. That's an important distinction.
Yeah.
It highlights the diversity of roles dogs can play in our lives.
Yeah.
It's fascinating how they can be trained for such different yet equally important tasks.
One interesting thing that Lisa mentioned is that she feels service dog training sometimes takes away a bit of their personality.
Oh, really?
Probably because they need to be so focused on those specific tasks.
That makes you wonder about the training process.
Yeah.
And how it shapes a dog's behavior. It's like they're channeling all their energy into that one crucial task.
Exactly. But for Ivy, she thrives on that social interaction.
Uh-huh.
It's like she brings her whole joyful self to those therapy sessions.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think that's a big part of why she's so successful.
It sounds like she found her perfect calling. So that brings us to a bigger question.
Okay.
How do people even find therapy dogs?
That's a good question. Well, Lisa gave us a great resource, the Alliance of Therapy Dogs.
Okay.
They have a massive volunteer network
Wow.
all over the country.
That's great.
Plus, they do testing and even provide insurance coverage.
That's incredibly valuable for caregivers or senior service providers who might be considering incorporating pet therapy into their care plans.
I know.
Takes a lot of the guesswork out of it.
Absolutely. And if Ivy's story is anything to go by, it's definitely worth looking into.
Yeah.
But therapy dogs aren't just for seniors in general. They can be especially impactful for those in hospice care.
Oh, okay.
We actually have an article here called Benefits of Hospice Therapy Dogs.
Interesting. Hospice is such a sensitive and emotionally charged time.
It is. And this article really digs into how therapy dogs can offer that extra layer of emotional support, comfort, and even some joy during a really difficult time.
That's powerful. Does it mention any specific ways that those interactions benefit both the patient and their loved ones?
It talks about how these dogs can help ease the tension that's often present, even spark up conversations and bring families together.
I can see how that would be invaluable, not only for the patient, but for the family members who are often struggling with their own grief and sadness.
And let's not forget about the caregivers.
Yeah, of course.
They're often carrying a heavy emotional load, too.
They are.
The article emphasizes the respite a therapy dog can provide for them,
I see.
giving them a moment to breathe and recharge.
It's a reminder that everyone involved in hospice care deserves support and compassion.
Absolutely. And while hospice work can be incredibly rewarding,
Yeah.
it's not for every dog or handler.
Right.
The article points out that some people might find those visits too emotionally draining.
That's a really important consideration. You don't want to put anyone in a situation where they're going to be overwhelmed emotionally.
Exactly. But even if hospice care isn't the right fit,
Yeah.
there are tons of other places where therapy dogs can make a difference.
That's good.
It's all about finding the right environment and the right people to connect with.
It seems like the possibilities are truly endless when it comes to incorporating pet therapy into caregiving.
And that's what's so exciting about this whole topic.
Yeah.
It's like we're just scratching the surface of what's possible when we embrace the power of the human-animal bond.
I completely agree. It's about recognizing that animals aren't just pets. They have this incredible ability to heal, to comfort, and to bring us together in ways we might never have imagined.
Well said.
So we've talked about all these amazing benefits of pet therapy, but I'm curious about how it can actually change the atmosphere in caregiving environments.
Yeah, it's almost like adding a secret ingredient to the mix, you know?
Right.
Remember we were talking about how pets reduce loneliness and give people a sense of purpose? Imagine that playing out in a senior living facility.
Okay, yeah.
It suddenly feels less like a sterile environment and more like a home.
That shift in the atmosphere can make a huge difference. Think about a senior center. It's not always the most exciting place.
Not really.
But introduce a friendly dog or cat, and it instantly feels warmer and more welcoming.
You see those shoulders start to relax, people crack a smile.
Yeah.
It's like the animal's presence is contagious in the best way possible.
It really is.
And it's not just what you see, it's what you feel.
Oh, right.
Think about that soft fur, the steady rhythm of their breathing.
Yeah.
It can be incredibly soothing, especially for someone who's feeling agitated or anxious.
Absolutely. It's like a sensory grounding technique, bringing people back to the present moment.
I like that.
We often overlook the importance of touch,
Yeah.
but that simple act of petting an animal can release those feel-good hormones.
Both for the person and the pet.
It's a win-win.
And those little moments of connection can snowball into something bigger.
Oh, how so?
Maybe a resident who usually keeps to themselves comes out of their shell to pet a dog passing by.
Yeah.
Or a group gathers around a fish tank sharing stories.
Right. Those small interactions can really foster a sense of community and belonging.
It's like the animal becomes this catalyst for breaking down barriers
For sure.
that might otherwise keep people isolated. And it's not just the seniors who benefit.
No, you're right.
Caregivers often face a ton of stress.
Absolutely.
And those interactions can be a much-needed breath of fresh air.
Picture a nurse, having a tough day.
Yeah.
Taking a minute to just pet a therapy dog, feeling that tension melt away.
Or a family member going through a difficult time finding a moment of solace with a therapy dog.
It's about creating a more supportive and compassionate environment for everyone.
Okay, so we're all on board with the warm and fuzzies.
Yeah.
But we need to be practical too, right?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, we can't just unleash a pack of puppies in a nursing home and call it a day.
You're absolutely right. We need to consider things like allergies, safety protocols,
Yeah.
and of course, making sure the animals themselves are well cared for and not overwhelmed.
It's all about finding that balance where everyone thrives, both the people and the animal.
Absolutely. And going back to something we discussed earlier, not every animal is a good fit for this type of work.
Right.
Temperament is crucial, and we have to respect their individual needs and boundaries.
This is where organizations like the Alliance of Therapy Dogs are so important.
Yeah.
They have a really thorough screening and training process to make sure that the animals are ready for the unique challenges of therapy work.
Their expertise is so valuable. They know how to match the right dog with the right setting, and they provide ongoing support for both the animals and their handlers.
So even though there might be some hurdles, the potential rewards of bringing animals into caregiving environments are undeniable.
I completely agree. It's about shifting our perspective and recognizing that animals aren't just cute companions. They're powerful agents of healing and connection.
And by embracing their presence, we can create caregiving spaces that are not just functional, but humane and compassionate.
I love that. It's about moving beyond just the purely clinical side of caregiving.
Right.
And recognizing the importance of emotional well-being. And hey, it doesn't always have to be dogs.
Oh, you're right.
We mentioned cats earlier. They can be fantastic companions.
Yeah.
Especially for those who prefer a calmer interaction.
And even just watching fish in an aquarium can be super meditative.
Absolutely.
It promotes relaxation and tranquility.
It really does. There really is an animal out there for everyone.
Yeah.
It's about finding the right match for the individual's needs and preferences.
But, as we move forward, I think it's crucial to encourage more research and innovation in this field.
I agree. Imagine studies that dig deeper into how animal interactions affect specific health outcomes.
Like reducing anxiety, improving cognitive function, or even boosting physical rehabilitation.
Possibilities are exciting.
They are. That kind of research could lead to evidence-based guidelines for incorporating animals into caregiving settings.
Right. We could be on the verge of a whole new way of thinking about caregiving.
Yeah.
One that recognizes the connection between humans and animals.
Okay, before we get too carried away, let's circle back to Lisa and Ivy.
Okay, yeah.
Her story offers some real-world insights into the logistics and rewards of working with a therapy dog.
It's a great reminder that these aren't just abstract concepts.
Right.
Real people are out there making a difference with their animal companions.
And Lisa's story also highlights how important it is to find the right fit between a dog's temperament and the needs of the people that they'll be interacting with.
So how did Lisa know that Ivy was ready for therapy work?
Yeah. What were the signs that she could handle that kind of responsibility?
It sounds like Ivy's transformation wasn't just about overcoming her behavioral issues. It was about discovering a hidden talent, a natural instinct to connect with people in a therapeutic way.
It's like she found her calling.
I love that. So many of us are still searching for our calling.
I know, me too.
Yeah.
Lisa described Ivy as a social butterfly.
Oh.
Who loves those little interactions.
Yeah.
Saying hello, getting a few pats, then moving on to spread the joy.
She sounds like a natural.
And Lisa was smart enough to recognize that talent.
Yeah.
And nurture it. She didn't try to force Ivy into a role that wasn't a good fit.
That's a good reminder that sometimes the most impactful contributions come from recognizing and embracing someone's unique gifts.
Even if that someone is a furry, four-legged friend.
I couldn't have said it better myself. But we do need to acknowledge that pet therapy isn't a one-size-fits-all solution.
Right.
There are challenges and limitations we need to be realistic about.
Right. Not everyone is comfortable around animals.
Of course.
Some people even have phobias.
We have to be sensitive to those individual preferences.
Yeah.
And ensure that pet therapy is always voluntary and positive.
And remember, some handlers might find certain settings, like hospice care, too emotionally demanding.
That's true. We have to respect those boundaries and provide support for both the animals and their handlers.
And of course, we can't forget about the animals themselves.
No, of course not.
We shouldn't push them beyond their limits or put them in situations that cause them stress or anxiety.
It's about finding that sweet spot where both the human and the animal benefit from the interaction.
Speaking of finding sweet spots, remember how we talked about the potential of research and technology?
Oh, yeah.
I want to dig a little deeper into that.
Okay, let's explore how technology can help expand access to the benefits of animal companionship.
I'm thinking about those virtual reality experiences that simulate being around a therapy dog. It could be a game changer for people who can't have physical contact with animals because of allergies or other limitations.
That's a fantastic idea. It would open up so many doors.
And imagine using AI to personalize those experiences.
Like having a virtual therapy pet that knows exactly what you need to feel better. And it's not just virtual reality.
What about robotics?
We're already seeing robotic pets designed to provide companionship.
Yeah.
And even help with tasks.
Think about a robotic dog that can fetch things for someone with mobility issues. Or a robotic cat that provides comforting purrs and cuddles.
Right. It's still early days for this technology.
Yeah.
But the potential is enormous.
I'm excited about the possibilities.
Yeah.
But it's important to remember that technology can't replace real-life animal interaction.
You're right. There's something special about that bond we form with living creatures, that warmth and spontaneity.
That unconditional love.
Technology can only try to replicate that.
But it can be a powerful tool to complement traditional pet therapy.
Right.
And make its benefits available to a wider range of people.
Absolutely. As we explore these advancements, we have to keep ethical considerations front and center.
Absolutely. These technologies need to be used responsibly, with the well-being of both humans and animals as the top priority.
Exactly. And we can't overlook the potential downsides.
Yeah.
What if virtual interactions start replacing real-world connections?
Right.
That could lead to even more social isolation.
It's about finding that balance, using technology wisely,
Yeah.
while preserving the essence of the human-animal bond.
Absolutely. So in this part of our deep dive, we've gone from the impact of animals in care settings to the role technology might play. What's the main takeaway you hope our listeners are thinking about?
I think the biggest message is recognizing the profound impact animals have on our well-being.
Absolutely.
Whether it's through traditional pet therapy, new technologies, or simply making space for animals in our lives.
Yeah.
We can create a more compassionate and connected world.
Beautifully said. I can't wait to explore even more possibilities in the final part of our deep dive.
So we've covered a lot in our deep dive on pet therapy.
We have.
The benefits, the tech.
Yep.
But let's get practical for our listeners.
Okay.
Those thinking, this sounds great, but where do I even start?
Right.
What advice do you have?
I'd say it's simpler than you think. There's so many resources. We've talked about the Alliance of Therapy Dogs.
Right.
Their website is amazing.
Yeah.
You can learn about different types of therapy work, the testing, how to find a chapter near you.
They even have workshops. Right?
Yeah, if you're not sure if it's right for you and your pet.
It's all about finding that perfect match.
Absolutely. For both the human and the animal.
And don't forget, it's not just dogs.
Right.
There are organizations with cats, rabbits, even horses.
Horses.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's something I'd love to see in action.
It can be incredibly therapeutic, especially for people who, enjoy being outdoors and connecting with larger animals.
Yeah.
The key is to find that animal that speaks to you and your needs.
Okay, so let's say someone's ready to explore therapy dog work. What are the first steps?
Well, first, be honest about your dog's temperament. Not every dog is meant for this.
Right.
And that's okay. You're looking for a dog that's calm, friendly, and enjoys being around people, even strangers.
Okay.
They should be comfortable with being touched, handled, not easily startled by loud noises or movements.
So basically a well-mannered pup.
Exactly. And of course, up to date on vaccinations and in good health overall.
So once you've got a dog with the right temperament, what's next?
Basic obedience training is a must.
Okay.
Sit, stay, come when pawed, walking nicely on a leash.
Those are essential for navigating different environments and making sure everyone's safe.
Right. Once you have that foundation, look into specialized therapy dog training programs.
Okay.
They teach dogs how to interact with the different types of people, including those with disabilities. They cover safety protocols, how to handle unexpected situations.
It's a comprehensive approach to preparing both the dog and the handler.
Absolutely. And remember, training is ongoing.
Right.
Even after you're certified, keep practicing.
Like anything, continuing education is key. So how would someone actually incorporate pet therapy into their routine?
First, define your goals. What are you hoping to achieve? Companionship, emotional support, maybe help with physical therapy.
Okay.
Once you know what you're aiming for, you can start looking at different options. Talk to your doctor, your local senior center, even your vet. They can often point you to therapy dog organizations or handlers.
Don't be shy about asking questions either.
Exactly. Find a program that fits your needs.
Right.
Ask about the handler's experience, the dog's training, the places they visit.
Yeah.
And most importantly, make sure you feel comfortable with both the handler and the dog.
It's all about that connection.
Yeah.
But also important to remember that pet therapy is not a magic bullet.
Right.
It's a fantastic addition to traditional medical care.
Absolutely.
It shouldn't be a replacement.
It's about a holistic approach to care, addressing both the physical and emotional needs.
Right. So how do you think animals change the atmosphere in caregiving environments?
I think it's a ripple effect of positivity.
Okay.
Think about a hospital waiting room, usually filled with anxiety.
Yeah.
Now imagine a therapy dog calmly greeting patients, offering comfort. The energy shifts.
Yes.
Smiles instead of frowns. People start talking.
It's a sense of shared humanity.
And it's not just hospitals. Think of a nursing home where residents feel isolated. A therapy dog can bring so much joy.
Companionship.
Yeah. It helps create a space that feels more like a home. And the benefits extend to caregivers. We know those jobs can be stressful.
Yeah.
A quick interaction with a dog can be a real stress reliever.
That's the beauty of pet therapy. It touches so many lives in meaningful ways.
It really does.
So as we wrap up our deep dive, what's the one thing you want listeners to take away?
I think recognizing the incredible impact animals have on our well-being, whether it's traditional pet therapy, new technologies, or simply appreciating the animals in our lives.
Yeah.
We can create a more compassionate and connected world for ourselves and future generations.
Beautifully said. I encourage everyone listening to explore those possibilities. Embrace the power of the human-animal bond.
Yes.
Let's create a world where compassion and connection truly thrive.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the wonderful world of pet therapy. Until next time, keep those tails wagging and those hearts open.